Well, with LCBO stores set to reopen tomorrow morning following a weeks-long strike, we're now learning new information about the concessions made. The LCBO agreed to 3 measures to alleviate the concern of workers over the sale of alcohol in retail stores starting in September. Our Queen's Park Bureau Chief has the exclusive details for us. Colin, what have you learned?
Well, and Tracy, those workers ratified this deal on Sunday, and we've been watching them slowly streaming into this LCBO behind us, preparing everything for the official reopening for customers tomorrow. But the big question remains, what did they go on strike for? Well, it turns out, according to this contract that Global News obtained, the LCBO made some major concessions. They have agreed that they will not be closing down any LCBO locations for the next 3 years, and they're also giving the LCBO employees a seat at the table to talk about how they could potentially expand the footprint. As the first strike in LCBO history officially comes to an end, the new contract makes it clear this was all about the Ford government. The province's plan to put beer, wine, and ready-to-drink beverages in 8,500 convenience and grocery stores was enough to send the union to the picket line, unsure of whether the LCBO would continue to survive.
And when we got to the table and we saw what the employer was looking for in concessions, it just confirmed to all of our members that we were headed down the road of privatization.
But according to the deal obtained by Global News, the LCBO agreed to limit store closures, to start a task force to examine alcohol sales in Ontario, and to increase the permanent part-time workforce. A contract that Premier Doug Ford seems to have personally signed off on.
I felt like we all worked together. We saved 9,000 jobs.
According to the agreement, the LCBO and the union will create a joint task force to study the financial impact of expanded access to alcohol. The goal, to boost the LCBO's presence by potentially opening up new locations or even pop-up shops.
We can also grow, we can also expand, we can also provide services in smaller areas, in little kiosks, etc., that would be able to compete in a sense and be part of the competitive marketplace.
Next, the LCBO agreed to limit store closures until 2027. If a store loses sales to a nearby grocery or convenience store, it cannot be shut down by management. Even the Premier said he has no interest in shuttering stores.
I have confidence in LCBO. You give quality service, a quality product at a competitive price, guess what they're doing? They're coming to your store.
Then 1,000 casual workers will be converted into permanent part-time employees, up from the 400 the LCBO initially proposed.
So that's a huge achievement that we would have never seen ever without going on strike.
The LCBO will reopen to consumers tomorrow. This new LCBO task force will have equal representation, 3 members from management, 3 members from the union. They'll be meeting once every 4 months to discuss the impact on revenues of the wider access to alcohol. They will also be making non-binding recommendations to the Ford government. This agreement, though, spells out one thing very clearly. What they cannot discuss is government policy, meaning if the Ford government makes any additional changes to alcohol distribution or sale in Ontario, that is non-negotiable for the LCBO union. Reporting live from Colin D'Mello, Tracy, back to you.
I appreciate the breakdown, Colin. Thank you.